Pasha Pyro, YD7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Alright, so how's y'all weeks? Y'all week collectively. Y'all had a good week? It was an awesome week. It was busy. Busy week. So, lots of craziness going on outside in the environment, markets, all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of cool to just take a break and got a new song out. That's what I did. I got a new song put out. Told y'all it was coming. Finally sat down and did it. Check out the video. It's on the Pasha Pyro channel. YouTube, if you hadn't already. It's called Results May Vary. We'll see. All right, so we're going to get into the February 1st through February 7th. Oh, yeah. It's a new addition to the collection. Check out Sun's Jewelry. Get that off there. Check out Sun's Jewelry on Instagram, or I think it's sunsjewelry.com also. Work with her for a few weeks on this piece. It's pretty cool. And she does great work, and you guys can work together online. I'm sure she can ship it to you anywhere that you are. So check the either if you look at the song, the video for the song, I have our link to Instagram on there in the comments, and it's also on my Instagram page, which is Pasha Pyro. Okay, so get with her for that. So we got that, and look at that energy. Look at that energy right there. Yeah. All right. So let's get into y'all reading this week. Let's see what's up with y'all. It's a pivotal week for you. Hope everything went well. All right. See, it's 9:06, so 15:06. We always start off a little sluggish. Shoot, I went to sleep today at, I think it was about 7. It was a little after 7:30 in the AM from yesterday. So I got what would normally be a late start for me today. I didn't even get up till like I was woke at like 12. You know how you woke at 12:20 something, but you don't even make it out of bed till like it's after 1 o'clock. So it was a late start, but everything's done, so it's all good. All right. All right. Let's get you guys started here. So at the core, right? What we talking about at the core today is actually really, really good. It's a really good core. You know me. Give me a second here. Get the stuff on the screen for you. All right. Hold on. I'll be right there. You think I'd take like the extra? Yeah, I didn't. I didn't take the extra time and set this up before. I just sat down with y'all. We was just talking about how your day was. We gotta get into it. You know, it's always worth the wait. All right, here we go. So we got the Ten of Cups to start, right? And you know that the cups is like emotional love, self love. So that's always good, right? And it's a 10, so it's like the work is complete, and you're sitting back and you're enjoying the what you've accomplished. You know what I mean? Look, you got your little family there in the picture, or the young ones. You got your spouse with you, or a companionship friend, and y'all chilling together. You know, so you got company. And I like how the cups on this one's are all different colors, because to me that's like, it means you got a collection of a bunch of different stuff it took to get there. You know, that's what I feel. It's not just a bunch of you don't get just like a whole bunch of the same stuff, whatever it is you're working on in yourself or what have you, and that's what you need to make it. You need to be well rounded. You need to be diversified. You need to, you know what I'm saying? So the different colors kind of help me picture that the cups are full of different elements. You know what I'm saying? So the card name is the Lord of perfected success, right? The general meaning is happiness, time and stability in all fields, ongoing luck, and events are meeting with relatives. Okay. So, journey to native land, everything, what is related with family. So the business is well-regulated business, trade in liquid, natural resources, gasoline, and gas. So it's a great income, every kind of fortune. So trade in liquid. I know that says gas, like natural resources and gas, but I think at the core that is liquidity, because we saw a lot last week. Like, I know this isn't the stock market channel, but it was some crazy issues with the stock market over the last days, and some people couldn't liquefy their assets. You know what I mean, or their holdings and stuff. So, you know, to make sure you got something that's liquid is or being able to liquidate when you're ready is a big part of success. You know what I'm saying? Else you get stuck holding it, and you can't get rid of it when you want to, and that's never a good thing if you got too much. That's why it's wasteful to have too much of anything. You know what I'm saying? So let me get these notes popping for you for the 1st through the 7th. So we got time and stability, right? In all fields, right? Okay. Because it's the core. This is pretty good. I like to start. All right. So you got meeting with relatives, right? But I think that's, I'm going to say meeting of like minds, right? Because a lot of what you've been going through is just struggle of being around people that didn't understand. Y'all didn't understand each other, you know, because I'm not going to make it sound like, you know, although your view may be right for you, it doesn't make the other person's view wrong for them at that moment. And we always got to keep that in mind, because that's why I always say be open to the infinity, because then you can see, well, okay, I can see that person's perspective, so I know they're looking at it from this, and because I know I can acknowledge the whole, or because we can acknowledge the whole of infinity, we know that's a part of the same thing that we're talking about, even though it may not have been the choice that we made or where we're at in the procedure or process. You see what I'm saying? We know that still exists, and it's still part of the same equation, so we can offer aid if needed. We could support where they're at, or we could just walk away and do us, knowing that they're where they're at, and that's just what it's going to be. So what it is, though, if you look back at the last readings, part of the conflict has been just not having the right people around you. And I think this time of relatives is more so than family. It's the right minds, the like minds are coming around you, and they're going to help you to fulfill some things that you're working on, because you've been meeting a lot of resistance because people don't like change, right? We've all seen the memes that who wants change, and everybody in the room or at the meeting or wherever raise their hands, and then you say, okay, who wants to change, and nobody's hand goes up, right? Because everybody wants something, but they don't want to have to do what it takes to get it. And as long as they ain't got to be the ones that do it, a lot of people are happy with asking for anything or nothing, because they'll rather have nothing than to do something which equates to a greater success. You know what I'm saying? So where you're at now is you're coming in contact with those people that are more excited about accomplishing a goal than excited about, not doing nothing and just you know what I mean? Like when people don't really care, they just want to get home, like at work. It's not that you can't knock them if they've been there 30 years doing the same thing over and building all this stuff up for 30 years, that now they just want to get home at the end of the day. And you got all these great ideas. It means if you implement them, it's going to be a ton of more work that they got to do when they were just trying to coast into retirement or something. You got to understand where they're at versus where you're at. So it's not that the resistance is against you. The resistance is just against change itself. You see what I'm saying? And that's what these cups are full of. These cups are full of change. You see what I mean? There are different changes in your life that if you weren't open to receive, you wouldn't have got to the position that you are in now. You would still be stuck somewhere else in the past with the same battles, with the same desires of escape. But because you've embraced the change, because you were not afraid of it. Remember we talked about being afraid of it. You had to go over the mountain. You saw sort of mountain. You had to cross over the water. You left the cups behind. Remember that. You left those cups behind because it was time to change cups. You see what I'm saying? You got new ones. Now these are filled with the stuff you really been after all this time. So but let's see what the details are that's contributing to that. Because you left the cups behind, you outgrew. And put it like that. And now you're starting to see the new ones filled. So, and that's why the liquid part. Remember, be like water, right? So, I'm gonna put natural resource because that is kind of important right now. Like a lot of people are getting out of. You want to get into something natural, tangible. You know what I mean? So natural resources to make liquid. Be like water. Be like water, my friend. All right, so with that, you're flowing and everything. Your relationship is this the best card for a relationship. Deep, independent, emotional, comprehension, deep, unconditional love, family support, right? So unconditional love, I think that's key because remember everything else. Heck, a lot of people are around you. A lot of people were around you. A lot of people, a lot of things to you and with you that you felt like, was love, but it was based on condition. You know what I'm saying? So, that's part of what those changes were that you had to go through. Remember, when you kept staying in the same position is because you thought that was love. You know what I mean? Like a lot of, I'm talking to a lot of people right now that are going through things. A lot of people are going through things with the economy and everything. You know, they've had really successful businesses, and they're being destroyed right now. So, as far as the business goes, and remember what we were talking about with the cups. You have to let go of the old cups to get the new cups. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might feel like where you're at right now is the love of your life. Okay? But that has to be taken away from you. And sometimes it's not by choice, because we would have held on to it. We would have kept hanging on to that because we're comfortable. It's what we thought made us happy, even though, I mean, really it did, right? It really, you found joy in that. But the question is, would you ever upgrade, or would you ever go to that next level because you would have never found a greater joy. You see what I'm saying? Like, remember those cups we had to leave behind? If you didn't leave them behind, this is your greater joy now that you would have never found if you were still trying to hang on to those cups before. You see what I'm saying? So look at that as that's what's going on right now. Things have to be washed away, cleared away, because what's for you, what's coming is a greater joy, and that's why you had to separate yourself from all things of the past. You see what I'm saying? And again, this is where your self-love comes in, your romantic love, all that stuff, emotional love, because it's going to test you. It's going to make you're going to have a lot of emotions about this, because it's stuff that you're attached to. So when they say family support and all this stuff, remember this. I think this is not really family, such as, for some people it's going to be family members, but for others, I think this is really just going to be that you're finding that group of people that are ready to do or have already been doing what you're ready to do, and you've been waiting to find them. Now y'all connected, and y'all can go do this great work you got to work on. So the health is great. If minor complaints, they end good. Physical characteristics is person very deeply understanding others, right? Light person, spreading peace. And the advice is go to visit relatives. Come back to your roots, your origins. Okay? So you had a lot of dreams, right? Because remember, for some reason, I'm not feeling this as family. So, but what I think you had is that unconditional love, right? You had a dream. You had dreams that you gave up on to do what worked, right? Hold on. And what I mean by to do what worked at the time is, you got dreams and you got goals, you got ambitions, but guess what? They don't always pay the bill in the first hour. You know what I'm saying? So, especially when you got I ain't gonna say the wrong people around you, but you got, because that could be a success of the right person around you saying, hey, look, that's a great idea, we're gonna get to that, but we got to do A, B, and C first. Or you got the other side, that'll never work, you're wasting your time, we ain't making no money, stress, and then you have everything in between, right? So what happens though is, what we do sometimes is we get into what is a much better position than we were, right? And then because you got into a little bit better position, what do? You get complacent, and you give up on you don't even give up on it, but you kind of forget about your goals and dreams, because now you're just like, oh, this is okay, this is cool, instead of taking that new upgrade and making it a resource to catapult you into your goals and dreams. You just start to make that your whole life. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, get back to where it says get back to your roots. I think you need to get back to what you really want to do in life. Right? Now's that time. Now's the time to get back to what you really want to do in life. And the warning is, happiness is never without clouds, right? So it's got to rain for anything to grow. You know what I'm saying? And you done been through some storms. And everything will be good. The result is everything will be good as in a fairy tale. So you're going to have a fairy tale ending this week. But, I mean, what I really want you to understand is what is it that you gave up on thinking that you didn't have time to fit it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, because of this, because of that, you know, I just can't do that anymore. Or you used to do this, and maybe it was something that deal with social. Maybe you was teaching. Maybe you were some sort of instructor. Maybe you were something hands-on with people, and then because of the shift in the environment, because of the pandemic, you couldn't do that in that way anymore. Well, you know, did you give up on it because you exhausted all your resources, or did you give up on it just because someone said you can't go to this building anymore? You know what I mean? When Zoom and everybody is blowing up right now, you could have, you know, you could put together a thought to do it digitally. You know what I'm saying? And then if those people weren't interested, you could actually get involved with, you could do it digitally because it's something in you is telling you need to do that, and you keep putting it off. But that's selfish. You're being quite, in my mind, selfish. You know, because your talent isn't for you, in my opinion. And I don't know where this is coming from. This is the longest chord part we done had since the beginning, but it's liquid right now. It's flowing, so you're gonna receive. But your talent's not for you. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it like that, your talent is for the people that need it from you. So when you see a person developing themselves and they started something new, like the first time Son's Jewelry made a piece of jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Support them. This ain't her first time. She's very good. Check her out. But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm getting at. Like, when we talked earlier, just a moment ago, what was it you gave up on because you had to do this to make a way at the moment? Well, there's been a lot of moments since then, since you made that choice. If you had to put this aside so that you can make a way here. You got here and then you started buying 5 cars, and you moved from this house to 6 times bigger house. You know what I mean? Because you felt like this position was that much better, instead of staying in the material world that you were in, while you were able to grow your ability to address the intangibles that you needed to fulfill your dreams. You got caught in the material world. So what is it that you gave up on that you can now revisit? You know what I mean? These shifts aren't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's going to feel fucked up in the beginning, right? But what is it that you gave up on because you were on this whole ordeal that now you can revisit because, well, you ain't got nothing to lose now but to do it. You see what I'm saying? And if you're not in that position, well, what did you give up on that you sacrifice and that you're killing off because you're too busy buying this, that, and the other, boom, 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 and you're not putting enough. It's okay to get things, right? But make sure that your primary objective, your primary investment is in, 1, self-preservation, right? And 2, whatever it is that your purpose is. You see what I'm saying? I see people all the time. It's sad. I know they can't fulfill a purpose because they got too many car payments. And then what happens is they mad at you. This is also what you gotta understand about this 10 cups. See, in your world, you're happy, right? Look, that card is everything's happy and sun shining, rainbows and colors and what is that, a beach? You chilling, that's your world. That's how you feel every day, always the perfect day. You doing your thing. And you try to help everybody around you before you got to this point where you're chilling. right? But now some people are they not necessarily angry at you, but they gonna, you know, they feel some type of way because of who you are. Not like who you are, but who you are to the environment, to the world, how you interact with shit. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand it. You see what I mean? So they hate that you're free because they don't put themselves in a cage. You know what I'm saying? So just know that comes with when you finally reach that point. You know what I mean? That's why you're gonna feel different when you get to the like minds, because you've been surrounded by the minds that enslaved themselves for so long that they've been working on you, trying to enslave you too. You know what I mean? They want you to, you know, be in a box too. All right. So I think that sums up the core. It's a lot going on because this is a very pivotal point. I think a lot of you made the right decisions. So we got time of stability in all fields, meeting of like minds. You left cups behind, you outgrew, and now you're starting to see the new ones filled. Natural resources to make liquid be like water. Unconditional love. Excuse me. You had dreams that you gave up on to do what worked at the time, and now's the time to get back to what you really want to do in life. It's gotta rain for everything to grow. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta rain for it to grow. All right. So let's see what your past feelings were real quick, because I think that's a lot right there. That's a lot at the core of this week. So pay attention. You know what I mean? You sitting good. A lot of people don't like that. And if that means that you not so much like you, it's not about money. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about money. So don't think that's what it's about. It's about you like to learn, right? So now you're in a position where when you first started something, you were ignorant. You didn't know. And everybody was like, ha 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 ha, you don't know what you're doing here, you know. And then they didn't know that you were the type to go in there and all in the internet and all online and all this stuff. And then 6 months later, now you doing in some cases the job they want to do. Because remember, they took a year and didn't do it, and now you just got to the point where you was rolling and you were just like, yeah, let me do this too real quick. They're like, hey, wait, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I didn't know because you weren't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you feel about the shit. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get into your past feelings or attitudes, okay? Because you moving now. That's what it is. You moving. You up to speed. It's like when you think about it, the speed of light, right? When you get to the speed of light, you became that you're going so fast that now all the light just blurs past you. I've never been going that fast. You know what I mean? The car don't get up to that speed yet. So I'm gonna have to put a couple more G's into it to get the horsepower out of it to do that. But what I'm saying is, I think once all the light starts flying past you at the speed of light, like you really are at the speed where you don't feel like you're going anywhere. So imagine that, like that's what the Ten of Cups is. You see how it looks like they're just at rest. The cups are filling up. The cups are full. How do they stay full? Because they're moving so fast that every time they take something out, bam, it's hit back in and it's full back up again. They can't take it out fast enough. So they're just enjoying. You're just enjoying everything, whether that's your emotions, whether that's your money, whether that's your time. Everything is full. You have everything that you need, and you have the right people around you to share it with. Okay, enough about that. That's a nice card. We could talk about that all day. All right, 9:30. 6. Another 6. back to the Hierophant. So that's good though, because it's filling in from. It's a continuation of last week. Yep. So we got the Hierophant on here for your past feelings and attitudes, and that's the Hierophant, however you say it. So first priest, the master of Arcanum. Now the general meaning is the conservative attitude, good advice, education, family, clan, kin, religion, tradition, right? So basically learn from the right people. You know what I mean? You've been following the right people. Or the right authority, which may not be a person at all. It could the book or quote. So I'm gonna say you got with the right authority. You found the right authority. All right, and that's why, and because you found the right authority, you started vibing on that frequency, which is how come you found the match of the right people, because you knew what the vibe was supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Because you did the research. So from doing good research, right, you found the right vibe. And that helped you identify the people with the vibe. With the same vibe, right? Because remember, if you're going into that, remember that a week or so ago, and you had the card that, again, that you just left everything behind, and you were going off into the new unknown, right? So if you don't know what's out there, then how do you know what vibe is right or not? You see what I'm saying? A lot of things that glitter ain't gold. So you find out about the vibe, what it's supposed to be, and that helps you know when you find it, when you see it. You know what I'm saying? So for the business, it's folk craft, hereditary professions, business that require traditional attitude, old-fashioned attitude, taking into account the human factor at work. You see what I'm saying? So creative people don't, when you're creative, man, when you're a natural creative, you're gonna struggle at times to interact with people that aren't creative, and they're repetitive regurgitators, like, because they want direction, right, in order to give direction, and what you want to do is create. So that's a disconnect, right? So y'all not gonna understand each other unless you know that, and you have a team that can work well together. Okay, so again, finding that vibe, doing the research, knowing what the vibe should be, you can easily tell who's not, right? So that whole human factor, when you're creative, you're gonna want to be around other creative people. They don't have to be creating the same thing as you, but the fact that they're naturally creative is going to help you fit in, and you guys can learn from each other instead of one person trying to act like they know everything and they don't. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to ask questions, which you already done because that's how you got here. Learn how to work with this person that may not know the same skills as you, but in talking to them, you find out something that you would have never thought of on your own. You see what I'm saying? That could be valuable. So all of that is what you put in to get this far. You see what I'm saying? Like, I like this card because when you look at it, like I said, it blocks everything else out. And once you do that, you on your way up to the steps. You see what I'm saying? The only thing you focus on is the steps. So I'll put that in there. Once you block, once you block everything else out, the only thing left is the right path, right? All right, so let's take a look at your past actions and everything, because that's pretty much the gist of this card. I mean, I feel like that's what needs here. So the advice is to ask for advice, authoritative people. Bam, which is what we just went over. The consciousness was search of meaning of life and discovering authority, sensible affair. See, that's what I'm saying. You found the right authority. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead with that. Let me pull this up here for you so you can take a look at the notes while we get set for your past actions. And I think that means that you had to do something right, because you get into it right now. You know what I'm saying? So we already kind of got an idea of what it's gonna be, but let's see what it say. Go ahead and review the notes real quick. Oh, okay. So I guess we don't gotta go any further. Here you go. It's just jumped out, so I guess it has something to tell you. Let's see what it has to say. My bad. I told you I'd be having my music in, so I'll be in my zone. All right, so let me get this up here for you. All right, so your past actions was you became the motherfucking the emperor. You see what I'm saying? So the old name of this was cube-shaped stone, Osiris, right? And so the astrological point is, well, the archetype is father who is consulting the world. You see what I'm saying? And then the astrological point is Aries, which is vision. And then springtime, or spring, time of rapid growth and time of renewal and some action. So remember, we're saying it has to rain for anything to grow. So your past actions was that you weathered the storm, right? The storm, and you turned it into growth spurt, right? See what I mean? That's what you weren't counting on for yourself. That storm, even like right now, what we were just saying, the storm that's upon us as a whole, it's gonna create a growth spurt in you. If you feel like somebody, someone, whatever is doing is this is being negatively forced upon you, or whatever you feel, just know that the people that are doing it, right, the negative people in your life have actually been put there by the most high. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it like this. Like, this is gonna be weird, but check this out. what if the Most High and what you call the devil are both upper management? If you look at like a company, right? And they're just different departments. So, like I said, if you don't let go of this, you're gonna hang on to it, and you're not gonna get this that you're supposed to get. And this is what's gonna trigger you to become this up here, which is what the world's been waiting on you to be, right? But you're so focused on this down here. So, you know, the big guy calls the other big guy, yo, yeah, cubicle 15, yeah, we got an issue over there. I need you to send a technician out there and do an extraction of this, that, and the other. Yeah, we're trying to bring in this new system for them, and they don't like it. They want to keep their old system. Yeah, he don't know the purpose of it is he's not supposed to know yet that it's gonna be better. I know you know that, but man, just get the tech over there and have him go, right? And then, you know, we in the middle of it. Those that aren't being watered, that aren't going with the flow, okay? And then we're like, man, why is this? You know, that's why I got this saying, it's always a perfect day. You see what I'm saying? Because even when it's something bad, or what you think is bad at the time or negative, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years down the road, you're like, I'm so glad it happened like that because A, B, C, and D. Like, I'm not bragging when I say I came to Charlotte with $40 and 2 bags of clothes. I'm telling you that if I can do it and come from nothing, then you can. You see what I'm saying? You can come wherever you at right now. You can go higher. That's why I say that. It's not about me. It's about I had to go through that to be able to tell you that you can achieve too. So, all right. So you weathered the storm and you made it a growth spurt, right? And the general meaning in the card is order, sequence, practical reason, stability, authority, cause, and will, right? So you brought order to your life. We watched you do that over this last few weeks. And I think the order wasn't so much as organization. It was like you started ordering what you wanted. So as in ordering what you want, right? Because you finally start to feel empowered at the time. Hold on, I gotta get the notes down. I got the phone going. I need an assistant. I'm just playing with you. All right, look. So you weathered the storm, and you turned it into a growth spot. You brought order to your life, but as in ordering what you wanted, because you finally started feeling empowered. Like you had to realize your potential, and then once you realized your potential, you could start asking for things that you wouldn't have asked for before. And then the thing is, once you ask for them, right? If all your thoughts are prayers. Once you start changing your thoughts, you're starting to pray differently. You're starting to ask for different things to be delivered to you in manifestation. And so what happens is once you start asking for different things, they're on their way. So again, he had to make that call, or he or she, however you feel about the upstairs, I don't know. Well, that's up to you. It's between you and you. So anyway, that person made that call. Hey, Department D, I need you to go over there and strip some shit. I need to go over there and do this. Yeah. Make the light flicker, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was. You know what I mean? And then that caused you to have to go do this, which led to that, which led to this. And then now you acquire that, and that's what you needed. Because before you had that, you never knew you could do this with it. And then once you discover you could do this with it, now you're amazing doing something else that you would have never done before if you were still down here doing down here things. You see what I'm saying? So we got to make room for stuff because some shit's coming for you. All right? So you had to start putting those orders in. And then now that you got the orders in, shit's on the way. Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? So events is the realization of some plans, visible result, space structuring. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with, okay? You start to put the orders in because you're the emperor. That was your past actions. You see you got the chess piece in his hand. You're moving pieces around on the board now instead of feeling like you a piece on the board getting moved around. You see what I mean? Your shit's on the way. Hold on. Let me get you your notes so you can see that. I'm going to shuffle a little bit. I got to shuffle a little bit here. So you see, that's how we got here, though. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Emperor had to pop out for you. Let you know, I'm past actions is what we started doing. We went through a storm. No jacket, no umbrella. It's just rain. You know what I mean? Everybody else be all umbrellaed up and shit. And, you know, got their little trench coat on to go to the car 10 feet away. It's like it took you longer to put all that stuff on and up than it did for you to go to the car. And then when you take it all down, you get just as wet as you would have if you had just walked out there, because you out there fighting with the umbrella trying to get it down and get into the car and all this stuff. Next thing you know, you just as wet as if you had just walked on over there to it. All right. So you weather the storm, you turn it into a growth spurt, you started ordering what you wanted in your life, you started placing orders, you know what I mean, because you realized you were empowered to do so. Let me see what the advice was for that one, though. So the advice is realize your plans firmly and consistently. And the result is defense of reach results guaranteed of reliability and order. Yeah. So now you big joker. See what I'm saying? Now you big joker. What's up, big joker? How I feel? You know? Oh, and for the people that don't understand what I mean by that, because, you know, I don't know everything either myself. I'd be having these random thoughts sometimes. But that's the spades. You know, the big joker kind of wins. All right, so 951, 6. Man, that's 3 sixes. 15, 6. So we were just talking. We get 3 sixes on the deals, right? Let me get this 6 real quick, but we ready to check out what 6 is. Right. Okay. Pretty cool card. All right, hold on a second. Let me get it on the screen for you here. Yeah, this next joint gonna be hard too. I'm excited. All right, let's get your card up here. We got the 10 of Swords now in reverse. Okay. So let me get on here so you can check it out though, because we got some birds, we got cool little stuff going on here. And this is going to be your advice for the present, right? So, but before we get into this 10 of Swords, let me see what this 6 is talking about, because them first 3 shuffles was definitely a 6. So, 6 is consensuous. It desires to bring harmony, truth, justice, and a sense of balance into its environment. See, that's crazy, because in a good way, crazy good thing, because I was just telling you how like the big guy or the universe, whatever, gets the phone, you know, yo, go to cubicle, check out my man, do bloop, 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 do that thing, you know what I'm saying? And that's because it's trying to bring a new harmony, truth, justice, and sense of balance into your environment. So I know this looks bad in some cases now. And I know even if you're in a good case, you're still looking out the window and you see bad cases and you still have that negative energy and concern with what you got going on because you don't know what your shit gonna bring, right? But that's gonna trigger shit in your mind that's gonna make you change, make you become something that you weren't a year ago. And you're gonna get to the point where your thoughts now are gonna be so far, they're gonna put you in a position where, you know, none of this is gonna matter. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to need none of this no more. And I'm not saying tomorrow, but you're working in that way. You know what I mean? So love and compassion are uppermost in its mind, and it can therefore be an effective teacher. Boom. This is a lesson. Counselor or healer. See what I'm saying? So others are drawn to it because of the understanding which emanates from it. The ions 5 and under, the opportunity to experience many events and emotional encounters. They are now ready to take on social and family responsibilities or the 6th vibration. See all of this, like we were saying, you met the right, you did the right research, so you knew the right vibe, so you met the right people. So now you sitting in a 10 of cups position, and it started, you know, your actions that started you on your way after those feelings was the Emperor, and now you in that position. So the swords is gonna be decisions, you know what I'm saying, actions and change. So let's get into this. The 10 of Swords is gonna be the Lord of Ruin, right? But it's in reverse. Now the reversal doesn't change the meaning, so all meanings are the same. So the general meaning is time of constant loss, collapse of hopes, right? And then the events are loss of consciousness, inability to control the situation, and bane. So this is the advice for the present. So irreversible loss, hopelessly ruined business, right? And I think that's what we were just talking about. So ruin, impossible to renew, to empty, place emptiness. Yeah. So if not death, then long fight between life and death. Coma. Person can die at any minute. Psychological characteristics is broken pessimist. And the advice is to accept what is and live this day. It's kind of timely for the song. Results may vary. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? So the warning is a time of extreme hazard, and the results is time of serious challenges. You see what I'm saying? So the advice for the present is to let go and let live. You know what I mean? If you keep hanging on to this, remember what we said last week? If you hang on to this, you're going down with the ship. All right, so let go and let live. Like this stuff is just material stuff. And I know that sounds crazy, but remember, you're talking to the guy that was sleeping on the floor in a pile of my own clothes for comfort, right? So the floor wasn't that hard, you know. Put a couple clothes here so it'll be a little softer. And yeah, I let everything go because I know it's not about me to say this, but this is for you. I mean, I switched industries completely. I had to switch everything because everything I had built up to a certain point, I woke up one day and I realized everything I had become so good at when I was studying knowledge itself and everything, you reach a point where you come up that study tree and you realize everything I built over here is in direct conflict with who I am now. When I started building it, that wasn't the case because I didn't know any better. Remember, you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know any of this shit. But now that I know this, that, and the other, and all this stuff, I don't fit in here anymore. I could stay there, but it would destroy me. Or the me that I am now. I would have to devolve just to fit in, right? So you're destroying yourself. So if you hang on to that, know that you're supposed to be able to let go of that because you're buoyant, your buoyancy, right? And I think maybe that's why this card is upside down. Because visually, if you let go, right? Think about it. If you're holding on to something, her feet, that's a her, right? Okay, so yeah, her feet, remember that could be, it don't matter who's the character in the picture, but her feet is up, which means if we're considering she's still standing on what's beneath her feet, then that means something is pushing her up. Okay? If you hold on, you're not going to float to the surface of whatever your level is, or the surface being float up to the next level. You're going to remain in the depths, and you know if you stay underwater too long, liquid, you're gonna drown, right? So she's looking at the birds. Don't be the birds, okay? Like, don't try to go where they're going. You're supposed to float up, and if you hang on, all that stuff's gonna happen. Everything's gonna get destroyed around you anyway because it has to be removed. One way or another, you're going to the next level, so you might as well accept it so you can go comfortably, right? Instead of trying to fight to be comfortable somewhere you're not even gonna be able to stay anyway. You see what I'm saying? So that's your advice for the present. So things are changing. Figure out what your purpose is. What did you go back to where your roots was? Remember it said whatever that thoughts was that you had that you gave up on, now's the time. If you let go of this shit, whatever it is that you hold on to, that you're not supposed to be holding on to, that is, you're going to float to that next level. You know what I mean? Stop telling yourself that you can't afford an AMG if that's what you want. I'm not saying go out and buy it today and you ain't prepared a way to keep it. You know. But if you focus on having that, you'll float to this over here, and this will happen in your life, and now you got all this extra, whatever it is, and you got that. Because remember, this is what I learned. You tell me about your experience. You wanting something. See, people are really, I think, defensive. Some people are. Some people have no clue. And that's okay, because that's where they are in life. Taking my socks off. Hold on. It's the only thing about wearing long socks. It take you a long time to get them off. All right. So, when they're really defensive about a person or somebody else dangling a carrot in front of them, right? Those that are in that state of mind. Like, nah, man, I know this is a carrot you dangling in front of me. However, sometimes you realize that carrot dangling in front of you has benefits if you were to go after it, right? So why do we not consider not these thoughts, these feelings, these desires that are being placed in you on certain, not nothing crazy, but you know what I mean? Like when the desire for that new, I don't know, $500,000 car comes into your mind, you're like, man, that would really be cool. And then the first thing you do is you shut it down like, no, you'll never be able to get that. When that desire enters you, you have to ask yourself why. What if it wasn't for you, why would it be attracted to? Why would you be attracted to it? There's something inside of you that's dying to connect with that. Remember, we just talked about the dying part. So there's something inside of you that's dying because it's dying to connect with it. Like dying to connect and dying if it don't connect, it will die in you. Okay? So what I mean is, like, when you have that desire, how many of you have actually asked yourself why or how? Because to me, what those feelings are, is that is the universe or the Most High or the devil from the Most High's phone call, right? Putting that out there in front of you to get you to move to further on your purpose. You see what I'm saying? And they know that's going to stimulate you. And then you call yourself being disciplined and saying, no, I don't need to have those things in my life, and money is evil, and why would I want to have a $500,000 car? Because it goes 250,000 miles an hour at the speed of light. You know what I'm saying? No, it doesn't really. But what I'm getting at is that's put there in front of you because by the time you reach the point to properly obtain it, you will have done a series of things that they already had on a checklist for you to do, and that's what they calculated you needed to be enticed with to get you to move through that program and that process. So remember, your talent isn't for you. Think about how many people you would help or how many lives you would change, or what you may not even know what you're going to be doing yet, but just know that if you accept that desire for the $500,000 car, or if you accept the desire for being able to buy a whole town for $3 million and build it up from scratch to what you want it to be, if you accept that desire, you're going to be put on a path. And think about all the different people you're going to come in contact with on that path. You're going to have a little bit more money here, a little bit more money there that you're going to be able to help this person with, help that person, even if it's just supporting this business and that brand and talking to this business, and they do it this way, and you're like, hey, look, this is what I learned. What do you think about this? Do it this way. Yeah, wow, that's great. That's amazing. Let's do. Wow, changed my life. Now her business, their business grow, his business grow, everybody's business grow. Meanwhile, you just walking around on your journey towards your $500,000 car, and you done built $60 billion worth of community stuff indirectly through other people. But you're talking yourself out of the $500,000 car that you were going to get at the end of that street that was put there for you so that you could do $60 billion worth of difference in your community, and you didn't even know it. And once you start doing it, like we talked about at the beginning, remember, you're going to have the people, you're always going to have the people talking shit, right? So they're going to be mad that you were able to do this and that you have this talent. But they're mad at you for having a talent only because they didn't take the time to discover what their real talent is. Somebody told them this is their title, and you know, they fell in love with the title, so they stay in that box, right? And they don't go outside that box. That's why they're miserable. And they want you to be miserable with them. So let go and float. Okay? All right. So let's see what your present feelings and ideas are. You ready to go to the top? Because if you're ready to go to the top, then you got to stop saying no. Remember, you got to let go of the bottom. You know what I mean? It's kind of simple, right? All right, so we got 9. All right. go another 6. Excuse me. Man. And thank you for your patience. You know, for those that watch this over with me each week, I appreciate it. You kind of know we move at a pace. I'm not even gonna say it's a slow pace, fast pace. It's definitely not fast, right? Because what I'm doing, if you're new, you know, it's a lot of cards here, right? And I do a lot of stuff. I ain't trying to make excuses, but this helps me commit everything on all of them to memory over time, doing it the fashion that I'm doing it and tying in all this stuff. So I move a little slower for that, and I move a little slower because like the way I do it, I'm showing the cards on the screen. I gotta save all the stuff. So I appreciate your patience, because what I'm actually good at is the law of attraction. That's the one thing that I've mastered. These are just another tool that I use. The music is a tool to help people. Everything is a tool to help people. And all I'm really doing is, all I've mastered is the law of attraction. So, you know, stick around for a year or two. I don't know, you know, and then I'll be able to be like, bam, 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 reading, be 8 minutes, you know, go on with your day or whatever. But this is so much fun right now. You'll be able to say, I remember when it is reading for 2 hours, but it was fun as shit. So anyway, let's see. You got the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, right? So we're talking about some money here, and that's the thing. Like, even there, look, that's a great example of what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta know the reality. So I never pretended to be, oh no, I'm you know, I don't pretend to know all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But then the authority is, the word authority, if you check that video, is the book or the quote, right? So at some point, everybody learned it from like the authority of tarot, which was the book or the quotes that specify what these cards mean. And then once they memorize them all, they start being able to put their little swag on it and do what they do. So there's no difference in having it memorized in your head or getting it from a trusted, reliable source. Depends on where you are in your process. What I'm getting at is, if you accept that, see, a lot of people, let's say, wouldn't do it this way because they would be like, no, people are gonna feel like I don't know what I'm doing because I'm using a resource and I'm putting cards on the screen and it takes 2 hours. Well, guess what? Those people aren't the ones that need your message right now. You see what I'm saying? Because the people that need your message or are supposed to receive it, they gonna, for some reason, they're gonna be like, man, I don't know why I'm sitting here for 2 hours watching this shit, but you know what? I'll just, oh shit, I needed to hear that. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen. And that's why you do it. Because your talent is not for you. So see, my talent wasn't reading tarot. And I'm giving this to you because I'm trying to show you how stuff in my own, we were just talking about some stuff, and I just thought about it, and this is how it's working in my own life. You know what I mean? Like, this is just what it is. So my talent is mastering the law of attraction. So to connect with these group of people that I wouldn't otherwise reach, the universe, most high said, however you want to call it, maybe the devil, I don't know. Somebody said, you know what? Look at this tarot deck. And then you start getting into tarot, you start watching your tarot readings, and then the next thing you know, you were like, let me give me a deck. And then because you were naturally supposed to get to that point. And then once you get to that point, you keep developing, you growing, and now you're going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? That's what we were just talking about. Right? All right. So now you see what I'm saying. Okay. So the 6 of Pentacles is the Lord of material success. Let's see what it is in reverse. So the general meaning, which is wish to show oneself. Hold on, what are we're on the present feelings and ideas. So now you don't put in the orders, right? So seeing is believing, right? You don't put the orders in. Now you at the window, like, where the fuck the delivery guy at, man? They said 30 minutes or it's free. And it's 28. They got 2 minutes, right? They got 2 minutes. Seeing is believing. All right. So I think you're waiting on those orders that you put in, or some of them. All right. So, and then the events is falsehoods. The business is contribution made by a bad advice, and then great expenses for presentations, and then too sincere behavior with partners and subordinates, overpayments. Okay, so contribution made by a bad advice, great expenses for presentations, too sincere behavior with partners and subordinates, overpayments. Okay, so a relationship is working according to a principle. I give you so much and you don't pay me back. That's really what it say here. So okay, so so the relationship could be a relationship with a person, or it could be at work. But seeing is believing, and you're waiting on some of those orders to come in because you feel like you're bending over back. You're not even that you're bending over backwards. Because you go above and beyond for a group of people that don't give a shit about you. Right? And what I mean by that is they may not even know. See, who you are, this is who you are, right? I like this card because it almost looks like you're at the top, and once you get there, you're able to drop the money down, or to drop the way up, to drop. Is that an infinity sign behind it? That's infinity in the background. So once you make it to a certain point, you'll have the infinite ability to help others. The thing is getting to that point, right? So every level you're on, this is what people don't like about you. They don't like that when you're down here at the bottom, you still find a way to do everything for everybody. And they're scared of what you're going to become. They're afraid of because of what you can do down here with nothing. They're afraid of what you're going to be able to do once you get up here. So what happens is that makes them all get together in their little clubhouse and say, look, man, we can't support them. Ain't nothing wrong with what they doing, but let's not help them. You know what I mean? It's weird because on one side of the coin, they want to see you make it because they know you're going to do these great things when you get there. Let's just say they're not trying to rush it. You know what I mean? But they want to see you make it. They just don't want to be a catalyst for it. And they're not being a catalyst for it, then they're actually part of slowing you down. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to slow you down. But so that's the falsehood, right? I think. And what it is that the people that you're helping may not even know who you are. And you may be invested in others, or you may be going through all these hurdles and stuff with these people over here so you can get this done, and it's going to help some people that don't even know you're in the back, you're behind the curtain, making their life or fighting to make their life better. And you're dropping all of this down for them. And I think the pain you're going to feel is you're dropping all this down and like they're just picking the orange one. Because they don't recognize you're giving them all of this. You're doing all of this for them. They're like, oh, the orange one. Yeah, that's the one I like. Yeah, everything else. You know what I mean? And then when it comes up later on, it's going to be like, well, you don't ever do nothing for us in the red or the yellow or the blue. And you're like, motherfucker, I threw them all down there. You just focused on the orange one because that's the one you were the most fascinated with. And now you know what I'm saying? So you're making to. So what's going to happen is the reason the overpayments come up is you're going to reach a point where you feel like, you know what? I'm doing too much for people that don't give it. It's going to feel, you're going to say to yourself, they don't give a shit about you. Or you're going to say to yourself, they don't give a shit about what you do for them. Or how you helping them. Or they don't care. Or, you know what? If that's how they feel, I might as well do all this for myself. And that's where that's where the overpayment comes from. Because you're going to feel like you're doing too much for everybody else. And if that's how they feel about it, then you might as well take it all and do for yourself. And that is what's going to catapult you to the 10 of Cups. Because at that point, you're going to have so much. You're going to realize how much you actually have. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how much time you really have right now because you're too busy doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that for everybody else. That once you say no to all that, you're going to be like, yo, you know, my life is all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's going to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got too many overpayments in your time, your energy, your caring, your love, your everything. And you're dropping it on people that want to pick and choose what they want to accept from you instead of accepting you as a whole. Like, how many times you ever try to help people and then the same ways and you help them here, you try to help do something over here for them, and then they want to cuss you out because you doing this for them over here because they didn't. But see, they don't understand that it's all part of the same picture of why you did this over here. So how you gonna pick the orange and say fuck the red when they're all coin? You see what I'm saying? Like, so you just get tired of dealing with the bullshit, and you be like, let me just go do for myself. So that's what that's coming from. So money spent on a treatment went for nothing. Too expensive treatment, though there was possibly for a cheaper one. Psychological characteristics is boaster, person who likes to show oneself. See, because that means either you're gonna show yourself the result that you're looking for, or you're gonna show up to make it happen. Like, either way, you're showing oneself. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just like to go and hide. You know what I'm saying? Especially at work. Like, jobs in your life, you've seen it all over the place. They be out of sight. They want to be quiet, and they feel like that's because they're only there to get their check. They're not there to make no impact. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make an impact. And an impact. And it may be of greater value to ignite yourself, right? For you to show up, right? Than ones that don't know what to do with it. And that's what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, man, these people don't even know what to do with me. But the problem is not that they don't know what to do with you. It's that you still holding on to people that don't know what to do with you. Remember, you got to let go and let live. If you hang on down there, you're going to drown. All right, so, but don't regret so the advice is don't regret of spent money. So, and it says warning is don't waste money. You're choosing expensive solutions to a problem. So what it is that the answer is simple. The answer is free. It's let go. But you keep dumping all this money into it. Time, whether it's money, time, energy, effort, it's expensive. It's adding up. And see, they're just picking. Let me get into that. And meanwhile, you're like, clink, 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 clink. Here's 100 coins. You're like, okay, I'll take this one and that one. And you're like, where's the other 98 going? So you're draining yourself, and you feel the drain, and it's an infinite thing going on back there. You see what I'm saying? That'll happen for infinity. That'll be insanity if you keep doing that, because it'll keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. All right. So you gotta change. They don't want to take they don't want you, the whole you, then they don't get none of you. Matter of fact, that's what we're gonna put it in. If they don't want the whole you, they don't get none of you. You know what I'm saying? This ain't 50 Cent. All you really need is a little bit. Nah. You either take it all or you ain't the right one, baby. You know what I mean? So if they don't want the whole you, they get nothing. All right, so let's see where the situation is heading. Let me get you your notes on the screen here so you can review them. Take a look at that while I get the card for you. It was an 8 in the back of the, and then there's an 8 for the shuffle. Another 6. We got like 5 6s today. I think we need to take some more looks at 6. So let's see there. There was some more to that chapter. Let's see why it wants to keep coming up. So we remember this though. We remember the 6 of Wands. But it's right side up this time. All right, hold on. Let me get this up here for you. All right, so we got the 6 of Wands, and it's showtime. That's where we're going, right? So the Lord of Victory, conquest, events in safe position, occupied place under the sun, firm position, stable income, luck, receipt of awards, people acting in the stage in front of the audience, and then everything is good and harmony. And then the health is great. The physical characteristics is winner, person who deserves every respect, person who is very proud of oneself, triumphant. The advice is finish work until the victory, demonstrate one's achievements. Remember, show up, show on, right? So any achievement must be defended. And time of awards, presents, conquest awaits for you, okay? So basically, you're going to the award show. All right? Keep your head focused. Stay focused. You're doing what nobody else can do. You're doing what's never been done before. And you know what happens when you do something that's never been done before? You're talking about Nobel Prizes. You know what I mean? You're talking about awards and accolades because you're bringing something to the table that's never been done before. Nobody never thought about this. Remember, that's why they were trying to hold you down. Not because they knew what you were going to do, but because they knew what you were capable of. Remember, they didn't want to let you. They wanted to root off your ass. You know what I mean? They saw your nose was bright. You know what I'm saying? But look. Stay focused on that. Let go of that shit so you can rise to the top. I mean, it's been a reoccurring theme all day today. So let's see what the advice for the future is. On your way up, don't grab nothing else to hold you down. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get the card, though. Let's see what it says. Because there may be a warning that you need for this moment, too. So I'm not going to shortchange you. You're going to get the whole me today. All right. 11, 12, 3. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to go back and see what's some more 6. Because what else is there? So the 6 desires a close companion. So that goes back to your 10 of cups. See? You had your close companion. Marriage and a home and family where beauty and harmony prevail. A need for group harmony and service to community follows naturally. That's what I'm saying. Like those things that you want, they're not like greed or grotesque desires of whatever. You know what I mean? They're triggers to get you motivated that you're gonna fall here, fall there. You may or may not even know that's where you're gonna wind up. But what you're gonna be doing is helping so many people on your way that by the time you get there, I mean, how could you say you don't deserve it? You see what I mean? So 6 settles down, blending into the conservative element of the community where it can create better standards of living, gifted in the arts. That's where we're talking about the creatives, right? It can also express its creative potential through its developed sense of balance and become a fine artist in its own unique field. Now, the keywords are family and social responsibility, service, love, compassion, counseling, healing, and creativity. All right? All right. And what we have here on the way out for advice for the future is pretty cool. Excuse me. Because what we got is the 5 of Wands. So we just had a 6. And now we're going to give you the 5, which I think 5 is all about freedom. So the advice is, what did I say? Make sure you don't grab on to nothing on your way up that mug, because it's going to mess with your freedoms, man. You know what I mean? So hold on. Don't stifle yourself, right? All right, so let me check this card out, though. It's kind of cool. Now, let me see what they talk about. Because what I see here is, you know what? I'm going to do this. So, if you look at this, right? Remember we talked about you recognizing the vibe. You getting the right people around you, right? And look, a wand is a staff or a stick. It can be used as a weapon against you, right? But when you got the right people around you, what do? The collective effort of all helps the team reach the goal. Okay? So what you need to focus on is making sure you got the right people around you. All right? Climb up the ladder to your success. And everybody around you should be working to help the team or everybody else move up. If you have anybody that's trying to hold you down, or if you see them trying to hold someone else down, then guess what? If you see them trying to hold someone else down, then you know they're going to be trying to hold you down too behind your back at some point in time too. All right? And then sometimes people don't understand, like we talked about, what you're doing for them is good for them in the long run because they're too busy looking at picking and choosing how they want to feel about what you're doing for them as a whole. I like this part, but I don't like that part. Meanwhile, you got a goal up here that you're trying to get them all to, and they don't see the whole big picture. They just see, well, you're changing this. You said do this, and then that. Well, yeah, all of that's going to feed into this massive flow that's going to get us here. You see what I'm saying? Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning in. The replay. Stay free.